Okay guys, today we're going to talk to the silver wolves a little bit more. Now, this is not so much a tip or trick as it's kind of like homework for you. I've been very happy with the comments I've been getting on the Silver Wolf series, and guys talking back and ladies talking back, talking about I'm 68 years old, I'm 72 years old, I'm 61 years old. I've had one guy that's contacted me, he's lost both legs. I've got somebody that's got a hip replacement, all kinds of stuff. And I want to address that for just a little bit. Okay, first, the good news and the bad news. Bad news is, as we get older, things get a little wonky. We know that. So arthritis gets kind of bad in the hand. It gets a little difficult to do certain things. The hand cramps up easy. We're going to deal with that in a second. Also the fact that we spend most of our time these days in cities, in towns, on flat surfaces like streets, sidewalks, the floors in malls, the floor in the hospital, the floor in our apartment complex, whatever. That's relatively flat. And what that means is that the muscles that hold us up in straight line to walk that way, and we use them fairly often, but the ones that when we're leaning like on uneven ground aren't getting any exercise because we're on flat ground all the time. And that's where you feel a little unstable when you get out onto uneven ground, because those muscles aren't being used. See, when you're kids, them kids will run on a wall at angle, just run around it. You know, won't even look up, down, hills, everything else. Them young muscles flow and flex, and they're all kind of equally tight. As we've got older, the muscles we're not using, they get a little flabby. We know that. Okay. Here's the good news, and they've done extensive studies and have proved this. Even into your late 90s, the body never loses the ability to make muscle. So you can tone up. You can improve. It's going to take a little time. You may have other issues, but you can do it. So let's deal with them hands for just a second. Okay? What I suggest you do is get you a ball, a tennis ball, a racket ball, or something like that, and I want you to start squeezing on it. Or even like this, just wad you up a dish towel or something like that. I want you to sit there and I want you to really squeeze. Notice I'm not just holding it in place. Twist the arm at different angles. Sit there and squeeze. Work those muscles in the forearm and build it up. Okay? Actually squeeze it. Squeeze it one way and squeeze it the other. Then put this hand up on top. Change the angle. And get all these muscle groups to flex and start moving again. Yeah, it's going to be difficult when we get started, but it will help. Arthritis. I understand. I've got arthritis too. But you'd be amazed if you keep it moving, it's not as bad. If you ever let it set up, it's like an old rusty door. You got to break it loose and get it going again. Okay? Well, where that's going to be important is whenever we start taking our knives and we're trying to carve something, to make a feather stick or something like that for doing woodscraft, stuff like that. We need our hands to work fairly well. Also, get a knife with a handle that fits your hand. If it's too small, that really hurts these old arthritic hands, because then you're trying to squeeze in tight to hold it, and you can't. The hand goes numb and you start losing control over it. Get a bigger handle. If I can't get a bigger handle, then take it and wrap it up with something that I can grip that'll hold it a little bit better. Okay? Maybe you want to get you one of those half gloves, the ones that's got the bare fingers. Look in the exercise department at Walmart or something like that, where they got the weights and stuff, and they'll have those fingerless gloves. That will fit in the palm and give you a little bit more grip to hold something, okay? So that you can get a hold of it and cushion the hand and be a little bit easier on them arthritic hands, okay? Take a look at that. The next thing is whenever we get out here and we're actually doing the exercising and stuff. Now, a lot of you have told me I'm kind of 68, I'm 69, I'm whatever, and I'm very limited. Understand that. You want to get back out. You want to be able to get out there with the grandkids and do a little bit. You can do it. We're from the suck it up buttercup generation, remember? We built this country. And so getting old ain't for sissies. We get out there and we do what we can. Yes, there's going to be limitations that we can't overdo. But on the other hand, we do what we can. So, what I suggest we do is we find ways to do it. Now, if all you can do is walk from one side of your apartment to the other, do it. Do 2 laps. Every day, do 2 laps. After a week, add a 3rd lap. After a week, add a 4th lap. Build up. Maybe it's just going up and down the hallway of wherever you live. Maybe it's going up, walking around the grocery store or whatever while you're in there. That's fine. Set up a routine. Start building up them muscles. And then once you do, add a little weight to it. Get you a little bitty backpack or something like that, and just put like one of them heavy sweaters or something in it. Not a lot of weight. If I can't hold it up with one hand, it's too much to start with. Put it in there and put it on and start walking the park. Start whatever. Add a little weight. That's making them muscles work a little bit more. Don't be afraid to stop and catch your breath. That's okay. We're entitled. But build the muscles back up. You'll be amazed at what you can do. And for those of you that have been blessed to have grandkids, ain't it amazing watching the grandkids how much running around you got to do and bend over, pick it up, chase that, don't do that. Ain't it amazing? Some of the best shape I've ever seen in old people is the ones that's taking care of the grandkids. I can remember having good friends of mine whenever I was young, but here I was 12, 14 years old, and they were in their late 70s, and I was hard pressed to keep up with them going through the woods. It was like trying to follow a deer because they never stopped, they kept going. So it's possible. You just got to apply it. Now, after you've done it, you've got to camp or whatever, you've got out here or whatever, and I overdid it a little bit. What can I do out at camp to help out? Well, here's a trick. Hand warmers. Now, there are 3 kinds of hand warmers, and they're different power settings, okay? There's finger and toe warmers. They're about 80 or 90 degrees, kind of close to body temp. Then there are hand warmers. Hand warmers are going to be somewhere around the 140 degree range. And then there are body warmers. Those are like 180 degrees. And that's like hot, hot tap water. Okay? So, getting these and carrying them with us to camp. Because once we get there and we're a little bit stove up because we overdid a little bit. Being able to put that heat on that shoulder that's giving us a little bit of a fit. It's like a portable heating pad. Okay? You don't want to put it directly on the skin, so do this. Get you one of them big old cotton socks, okay? Just look around. A lot of times you'll find these in the ladies' department. Used to be called leg warmers or whatever. This is a sock I had in living history. But you can take it and put it inside that sock. Activate it, and then you want to put it all the way in. Wrap it up a couple times. And now you got a heating pad. Why a long sock? Because I can put on my hips or my hand or whatever, and those arthritic hands be able to put it up there and just let the heat help the ache a little bit. But what about in the middle of my back? Well, that's where that long sock comes up. I can put it where I need it to go on my back with that long sock and then lean back and pin it. Don't go to sleep with it, but it will put the heat where you need it. So it's a portable heating pad for us to carry in the field when them old hands and joints and ankles and hips and everything else go to hurting. We can put a little heat on it. That's worth its weight in gold right there. Now, this is a Nalgene, which I always say Nigaline, canteen. There are other ones. There are ones you can get. They're just round. Okay. Reason I recommend Nalgene is because they're dishwasher safe. That means you can put boiling water in it. So I can get to camp, I can set up my little stove, and I can fill this up with hot water, seal it up, make sure it's not going to leak, and then take a big old sock like that or a towel or something and wrap this up and use it as a heating pad to put against the thigh, put against the hip or whatever. Now if you ain't got access to one of these, look for one of those stainless steel water bottles. You know, that people like carry for carrying water bottle. It's got the screw-in cork at the top of it. Most of those are dishwasher safe, okay? So don't pour straight boiling hot water in it and tip it over on yourself. Be careful. But fill it up with hot water. Screw the lid on and slide it in that sock, and you can use it as a heating pad or as a hot water bottle. We're old enough, we remember hot water bottles. You know, we didn't have electric heating pads whenever I was a kid. We had hot water bottles. And so things like that to help with the body aches. You're going to need to get you some boots or something that support your ankles. Again, we're used to walking on flat surfaces, so our ankles ain't as strong as they once were. And that's one of the leading causes of falls of silver wolves, is because one, those muscles are not developed to keep us on balance. So if we step wrong and we just start losing our balance, it's because those muscles can't straighten us up. So we need to build them up, and walking and exercising will do that. But having a pair of boots or something that supports your ankles helps a lot. You ain't gonna roll an ankle is easy. And so if you're used to being in the cities, and now I'm gonna try to come back out and get back in the woods, definitely look at a pair of boots. Not terrible tight, but you want the ankle support. And start out with the kiddie trails, you know, kind of easy walking. Gradually get off trail a bit more and more rough country. Give your body a chance to build up. That's going to be the secret to it. So, to recap. 1, recognize that, yeah, okay, I'm a silver wolf. I'm not as spry as I used to be. 2, I can improve. Okay? You can improve. 3, all I got to do is build these muscles up again. So, like I said, sit there and wad something up and work it with your hands. Build your hand strength back up. Get all them joints broke back loose a little bit. Don't be afraid to go fill the sink full of hot water at the house. After you've done it, go stick your hands in the warm water. Not boiling hot, you know, use common sense. But warm to help everything limber up and flex a little bit. Once I get my hands where I can do, then let's practice with that knife a little bit. You know, like I ain't got time to get out in the woods and do a lot of that stuff, but I want to practice some of them, not those cuts and stuff like on a tri-stick. You like carrots? Get a bag of carrots. Sit there and practice doing 7 notches and stuff like that in a carrot. When you're done, throw it in the soup pot. You know, there's all kinds of stuff, because we're just training the hand skills. See, how to use the tool. Get a knife that fits your hand so it doesn't hurt your hand to use it. That's going to take a little bit of trial and error to find what you want. Whenever we do overdo it, have the heating pads that I can take, the body warmers or the others, to be able to put on that shoulder, on the back of the neck, on that hand that's just giving me all kinds of things. It's going to be a learning process, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be work. But you can do it. I have faith in you. We are from the suck it up buttercup generation. And so it's our job to get back out there as much as we can and to share the knowledge we've learned over the years with the next generation, with the grandkids, with the other people that's just getting started. Because you don't think you know too much. You know, I did this and whatever. You know more than you think. You really do. You just don't know it till somebody who knows less than you asks a question, and then suddenly you got an answer. That's how to do it. We're silver wolves. Our job is to teach the next generation. Please leave any questions or comments down there, guys. I'd love to hear from you. And we're going to bring, probably next time I'm going to bring out my hammock and do the whole outlay of showing how the hammock, the underquilt, and all like that goes together. That's coming. But I want to touch base on this by looking at my comments. We will find a way. All we got to do is think about the problem and keep working it till we find a solution. We're going to get it. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.